Positions.
No kneel down here.
Well,
off they go. That's Ty Johnson, and he wisely slides to a stop in.
That was the ball game. Couple thoughts. This team, for some reason, can't overcome the huge games. Whether it's discipline, whether it's execution, and something needs to change. It's the same thing every year. And Lamar, I'm going to be honest, and some of you may disagree with me. I love Lamar. He's awesome in the regular season, but he is not awesome in the playoffs. The narrative of him choking in the playoffs is a real one. The Bills wanted this game more, and I take my hats off to them. They are a really good football team, and their game plan was phenomenal on coming out against us. They don't care how they want to win. They don't care how they look. They just want to win, I should say. And it was ugly for them, but they went on, and we go home because we try to be flashy. And this isn't street ball in Florida where you have all day long to throw and you can make cuts and make everyone miss. You're playing in Buffalo. You're playing in the snow. You're playing in like 10 freaking degrees. So the first half, we were not prepared. We did not execute. Our heads were in the game. The moment was too big for us, and it has been too big for us every single year in the playoffs. And some of that is coaching. We are not strategic as a team. We look to score by any means necessary, which works sometimes. It works sometimes. But what I mean about being strategic is we had the ability to do what the Bills did to us. Death by 1,000 cuts, right? Who cares about the splash plays over 40 yards in this type of weather? Grind it out on the ground, control the clock, play error-free football. And for some reason, we don't think like that as a team in these games. We become panicked when the game gets close. We become panicked, and we are not the team that we see all season long. Some of that's on coaching. Now, with Lamar, stop coddling Lamar. Stop saying he's the greatest quarterback the NFL has ever seen, because he will never be the greatest quarterback until he starts winning games like this. And the second half, yeah, I am less pissed off about this game than I was last year when we completely laid a massive egg against the Chiefs. We fought. They played their asses off in the second half for the most part, minus Mark Andrews. We fought in this game, and I am proud of them for showing that grit and fighting through all that adversity up there. Now, the first half of the game, that's where we lost this game, and that is on Lamar and how he played. You cannot, like I said earlier in the week, we cannot play hero ball. He cannot try to do everything for everybody on the field. You have to win ugly sometimes. We won a lot of games ugly with Joe Flacco. But even at the end of this game, we were trying to go for the home run the entire time. And you mean to tell me if we tied it up there, the 2-point conversion, leaving a minute 33 on the clock for Josh Allen with all 3 timeouts, do you not think they were going to march down the field methodically and kick a field goal to win it? I mean, it sucks thinking like that. But our defense isn't really what we think it is either. They couldn't get a stop when they really needed to. They gave up, points almost every drive, whether it was 3 points or a touchdown. They played better, but it's almost like we're the opposite of the Steelers. The Steelers started strong this season. They played against terrible teams. They had a great record. We had a harder schedule up front, and our record showed it. I mean, we lost to some bad teams, and that's a whole other thing for another video. But we lost to some bad teams up front, and then we had an easy schedule. And for all of the analysts, they were like, the Ravens defense to turn it around. We played some trash teams on the end, and that's why the stats were what the stats were. So I never really think our defense necessarily really turned it around. Brandon Stevens has been a liability all season long, and they're just not there yet. Roquan did not have a good year. Kyle Hamilton, to me, is the only one really playing back there. If it wasn't for him, we would be screwed. Humphrey's hot and cold. He plays great some games. Other games, looks like he's lost. But it comes down to, in playoffs, the team that makes the less mistakes will move on. That's why the Chiefs are very frustrating to watch. Mahomes gets a lot of credit because he wins ugly. Josh Allen wins ugly. That is their strategy. Death by 1,000 cuts. They will continue to just grind it out. They will chip away 3-4 yards. We panic. The second it doesn't go our way, we start to panic and unravel, and that starts with Lamar. That starts with Harbaugh, and the rest of the team feeds off of that. You can make an argument that everyone's looking at Lamar and if he's flustered, if that's your leader, then Mark Andrews is flustered. And I know it's cold as hell up there. The ball is slippery, like Tony Romo said. And by the way, fuck Tony Romo. It's bullshit. Like, how many times did he say ball game in the fourth quarter, halfway through the fourth quarter? It wasn't a ball game until the very end. So unnecessary bias there. But either way, you got to make the plays. You are paid to catch the ball. You are paid to be smart with the ball. Lamar was not very smart with the ball in the first half. Now, he rebounded. He played better than Josh Allen, and that is why he's the MVP. But I don't care, just like I said last year, I don't care about the MVP anymore. I really don't. And I feel as a fan, it's embarrassing to keep seeing him go to these award ceremonies when, across the aisle are his peers who have rings. I don't care about the MVP. I'd rather have him have a trash season next year and then make some noise in the playoffs than what we've seen the last 5-6 years. But this goes back to coaching. This goes back to preparation. This goes back to discipline. This goes back to execution. All those things we did not have. And if I'm Harbaugh, I'm going to stop coddling Lamar. He needs to be told, dude, you are a great quarterback in the regular season, but in the playoffs, you've only beat Ryan Tannehill, CJ Stroud. That's it. Those are the quarterbacks that and I know he doesn't play directly against them, but those are the quarterbacks that Lamar has beaten. Unacceptable. And I want to hear them say that. I want to hear them say that this is unacceptable. They're not. And this goes back to my frustration that we're going to see going into the offseason. They're going to be all smiles and say, like, I believe in this team. We have all the right pieces. We're going to get there, and they're going to pray and all this other bullshit. No, something needs to change. Something needs to change, and I want to keep Lamar. Now, do I think Likely should take over the first slot for tight end? Absolutely. Mark Andrews, thank you for your service. But you've killed us in the playoffs. You can't have a quarterback and a tight end who both at the same time are just imploding. That's not a success for the playoffs. So Likely, please move up, take Mark Andrews' spot next year. You have the hands, you have the aggressiveness, you have the mentality. Now, Lamar, stop being coddled. Take accountability, which you did. You did, and I think you did. I don't know if you were talking about yourself or you were talking about Mark Andrews in the presser after the game. But if I'm Harbaugh, stop coddling your QB. Stop saying he's the best to ever do it because he's not. I will take winning ugly with less than 200 yards from your quarterback than losing like this in the playoffs. I absolutely would. But hats off to the Bills. Please take care of the Chiefs. It's your year. It is the Bills' year. I almost said Redskins, but the Commanders and the Eagles ain't it. This is the AFC Super Bowl again this year. So an AFC team is going to come out and win it. So hats off to the Bills. Ravens, you got some soul searching to do. But we need to be honest with ourselves and go from there. But thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Appreciate it.